to Real Home Editions with Erica Foster. I'm excited for this one because the kids are back in school this week, and what we're going to be talking about actually has to do with schools. Um, so, this is a good one. And how do schools tie in with real estate, you might be thinking? So, um, this week, I just want to take a second and talk about the market. As you know, the market has been pretty crazy over the last few years, if we think about it. We've had a lot of ups, a lot of downs, and a lot of in betweens. And how does this impact us as a community? What does it mean for our kiddos? And today we're going to answer all that, and I'm just going to ask some questions. Um, so, one market I wanted to specifically just focus in on because I think all day long we could talk about all markets and anywhere that you may be living. So, just to get more specific, I'm going to just pick one, and it's going to be Peachtree City for today. So, thinking about Peachtree City, we're going to talk about the past 2 years and what the data actually shows for the market and what it means for today. So, looking back over when we're comparing just this year from a month ago all the way back to 12 months, and then if you take it back 13 months ago, back to 24 months ago, comparing those two timelines, so 1 year to up to 2 years ago, what does the data difference show between the two? So, when we look at new listings, so new inventory that has come on the market, if we go back from 13 months to 24 months ago, so 2 years ago, looking at the criteria, and I pulled this yesterday, so this is the most recent data to show. The inventory was significantly up in that time period compared to now. So we had more inventory on the market then than we do now. And if you think back, I know a bunch of agents who might be listening to this. Back then, we were saying we have no inventory. And now, we say that now. But it's truer now today. We just have zero inventory on the market. So listings from now to looking back over the last 12 months, we've had even fewer homes for sale that have hit the market as new listings. Pendings, so under contract, following the same trend, if you don't have as many homes coming on the market, you have fewer going under contract. So up to 2 years ago, we had more going under contract than we do right now. It has slowed down significantly. And then looking at closed listings, this follows suit. Clearly, if there was more on the market back then, looking 12 months to 24 months out, then there were more closings happening. And then within this whole last year, from now to 12 months out, we have had a lot fewer closings. So what has impacted that? I think that we all know as interest rates have gone up, more people are sitting in their homes and choosing not to sell. It has constricted the market even more. But what happens now? And what does it mean for interest rates? What does it mean for home prices? I think that that's what's on everyone's mind of what's going to give between the two. So when you're looking at the data, home prices are still going up. They are still trending upward. They have not gone down at all. And some of you are saying, well, when is the bubble going to burst? And I got a PSA for you. I'm not like a guru, so I'm not going to pretend to be. But if I can just give my 2 cents here, I don't think it will. I don't think that home prices are just going to plummet like how some folks are saying. Some people who are sitting in their homes are just saying, oh, it's just going to all burst and they're just going to plummet. No, they're not. They're just not. And if you look back over historic data, because going back in history and using that as a good indicator of what will happen, and in real estate, that's what we like to do. go back in history, look at the trend, look at how it projects forward. Typically, you're on a trajectory, and it's a good little indicator there. I think home prices are still going to increase. Now, will they increase like how they have done in the last few years, where you're gaining 20% on your home? Probably not. That's going to slow up. I still think you're going to make gains. Now, as far as interest rates, back to historical data, what I think will happen. Typically, when you go into election years, typically those interest rates tend to come down. It doesn't matter who's getting elected, it doesn't matter what party side you're on, it has nothing to do with that. Usually, whoever is getting, or whenever there's an election year, they want those rates to look good, and they tend to go down a bit. Now, will they hit the threes again? Most likely not, but they will come down just a little bit, and that should give some relief. And hopefully, when it gives some relief, hopefully, maybe we might get some more inventory coming on the market. It might give some more options for our buyers, and maybe some sellers might be a little bit more motivated to go ahead, put your home on the market, and get where you need to go. So that's good news. How does it impact our local market? What does it mean for us? So, talking with some local people who are actually in our schools, and this is a great conversation for today because if you are in Fayette County, yesterday our kiddos went back to school, so great timing. But at a lot of the schools around here, if you live in Fayette County, when you reach a certain age, you do not have to pay into the school taxes anymore, or it's just like a tiny bit that you have to pay. But really, you get such a huge, significant tax break, and that's why a lot of people choose to stay here and not leave. Or because of the way that home prices have gone and how much they've risen, they think, I'm just going to stay in my house, not sell, not go anywhere because it would cost a lot to buy. A lot of people who are elderly, or they've just reached that age where they can take advantage of that tax break, they choose to stay. Now, how that is impacting schools. If you're not paying the school tax, is as much money going into the tax or the school fund? No, there's not. And so also on that flip side, if prices in Peachtree City are significantly rising, and younger families wanting to move into the area are getting priced out. And let's be honest, to move into Peachtree City now, if you don't have a minimum of $550, let's call it, and you can't afford to go into a bidding war on any house that comes on the market for around $550, and you don't want to do work on a house around $550, if you are not set up to get entry level in at that price, it's pricing younger families out of this market. And so what's happening is these younger families can't come in, and so now there's a gap. And so what you're seeing is at the elementary age is you're not having as many kiddos entering into some of these schools. And this year, we have found out some of the teachers in some of these elementary schools, they have been let go or having to be relocated into other schools because we don't have the younger kids coming in like before because they've aged out, and some of the older people are staying here, not leaving, not turning over into younger families who could take over these properties. And the older people who can take advantage of the tax exemptions are not paying into Fayette County schools. So it all trickles down. It's all a ripple effect, and there's definitely consequences when things in real estate happen. I think maybe we'll get some relief when these interest rates can come down a little bit. And looking over historically, they're not out of the realm as far as how high been in the past. It's just coming off of something in the threes to going to something at like 7%. It does hurt and it feels high. And so, my biggest advice to anybody looking is come up with a number of a mortgage payment that feels comfortable to you. If it is $2,000 a month, if that's what you can afford, if it is $2,500 a month, if that's what feels comfortable to you and your family, get with a lender, tell them the payment that feels comfortable to you. Stop focusing on the interest rate. Focus on what payment feels good to you. If you were paying rent right now, if your rent is $2,300 a month, go get with a lender and say, I pay this amount in rent a month. This is what I'm comfortable with. Let a lender work up what you could afford as a home purchase price. Don't focus on the interest rate. Let them get you into a house, start making that payment, and then you will start building equity, and that is how you win. So today, this is Real Home Editions with Erica Foster on this Friday, and I'm happy to spend it with you. Until next time, friends, bye.